Good evening, everyone. It is Weather for Weather Geeks here on the 7th day of July, 2022. A better day today, a nicer looking day. It was a little bit warmer this afternoon. Humidity levels moderate, certainly not crazy high for July, and it will be an even drier air mass that comes in as we head towards the weekend. Before we get to that weekend forecast, let's take a look backwards because today's kind of a big day in weather history across our area. A few significant things happened on July 7th, and most notably for a lot of us, we were in the middle of a pretty dramatic heat wave back in 1988. One of two 100-degree readings that we achieved that summer at the Youngstown Warren Airport, the first of which occurred on today's date for a record high. A couple of weeks later, we had 100 again, and in between those 100s, we had a few 98s and 99s. And, of course, we had a pretty severe drought that developed that summer as well. Now, 10 years ago today, we didn't hit 100, but we hit 98 10 years ago today, back in 2012. And we have not even come close to that 98-degree mark ever since then. We had a 96 a couple of weeks later, but ever since July of 2012, 94 and 95 has been as hot as it has been over the last 10 years. Now, on this date, back in 1991, we had a pretty severe derecho that moved across the lower Great Lakes. This originated out in parts of South Dakota and northern Iowa, and then moved across the lower Great Lakes. And while we were kind of on the southern end of this, late in the evening, right around 11 p.m. or so, this did produce a large swath of wind damage, a couple of tornadoes in Michigan, but most of this was just straight-line wind damage across northeast Ohio and western PA on the evening, late evening of July 7th into July 8th, back in 1991. All right, it's Thursday, so we get an update on the drought monitor. And no surprise, given how the last week has gone, we've seen the abnormally dry designation expanded some. Now, of course, we've had some rain here and there over the last week, but especially when we have really hard downpours and the ground is dry, a lot of that runs off. It doesn't really soak into the ground and do us a lot of good, but what we need is more gentle rains. And while we have had some of, those downpours and even some lighter rain at times, not enough really to put a dent in the deficit that we've kind of started to accrue over the last few weeks and dating back really to early on in June. When we look at this week's drought monitor and compare it to, let me actually bring up another graphic here. I meant to show you something else. Bear with me for just a second here. I meant to grab the comparison graphic. Yeah, there we go. Let's take a look at this instead. This is what I wanted to show you. It's a comparison of the drought monitor this week compared to a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, none of northeast Ohio and northwestern PA was designated as abnormally dry. We saw a patch added last week, and then look how it expanded some this week. So, and next Thursday it'll be interesting. I wouldn't be shocked, given what the forecast is for the next 7 days, if we have a moderate drought designation somewhere across the region when we get an update on the drought monitor product. Again, a week from today, that'll be on the 14th day of July. Now, that abnormally dry designation matches up pretty well with the observed rainfall deficits over the last 30 days. A lot of Trumbull, a lot of Mahoning, and a good chunk of Columbiana and on west has seen up to 2 inches or more worth of a deficit, I should say. The deficit has reached 2 inches or more in a lot of those areas, in that kind of deeper yellow into almost kind of a tan color in Stark County. Now, some of these wetter areas in Mercer and Lawrence County, this was rainfall that we had a couple of weeks ago for the most part, and even in those areas, it has been pretty dry over the last couple of weeks in western PA. Not a lot of severe weather on the map this evening. A severe thunderstorm watch way out west in parts of Montana. Scattering of showers and storms elsewhere. Just kind of a typical July weather map in terms of clouds and precipitation, also in terms of temperatures. Really nothing all that unusual here. Now, it's hot where it should be hot. Dallas is 102, Phoenix is 106, but hey, it's July 7th. This is kind of what they expect at this time of the year. 94 in Albuquerque. We are holding on to a relatively comfortable 79 as of the 7 o'clock hour in the Mahoning and Shenango valleys. Now, our forecast for Friday is certainly no washout, and in fact, in parts of the area, it's probably not going to rain at all on Friday. But as we go into the afternoon and early in the evening with this front approaching, could we get grazed by a couple of showers? Yes. I think the higher chances overall will be a little bit closer to I-70 Friday afternoon. But then by Saturday morning, while maybe some leftover cirrus clouds no big deal. It's going to be just a delightful start to the weekend on Saturday, and then as this high builds in, Saturday night into Sunday, this is probably a hardly a cloud in the sky kind of a day coming up on Sunday. If you have outdoor plans this weekend, boy, nice weekend to have outdoor plans. 81 Saturday, 81 Sunday. At night, temperatures will drop into the 50s, so pretty good sleeping weather. So if you are extending your 4th of July vacation through this weekend, all systems go for anything you have planned outdoors. Now, we do need some rain, of course. A little bit tomorrow, maybe another shower or storm on Tuesday. But other than that, the pickings are pretty slim over the next week or so. Now, the Trumbull County Fair starts next week. It has a reputation for being kind of a wet affair sometimes, even though that reputation isn't sometimes really earned. It's, a lot of times we have a pretty dry and hot week. And next week does look warm and largely dry. Again, shower or storm possible Tuesday. Maybe there's a stray shower Wednesday, but other than that, I don't see a lot of rain chances over the next week. So I think region-wide, our rainfall totals over the next 7 days, perhaps even 8 or 9 days, will be well under an inch. So things are going to continue to crisp up, I think, as we head into mid-July. Thanks for watching tonight's Weather for Weather Geeks. I appreciate it, everyone. Have a great rest of your night and a pleasant day on Friday.